Hundreds of migrating birds fly past the full moon rising over the Hula Lake in the Galilee region of Israel. They will rest on the lake for the night before continuing their journey from Europe to the warmer climate of Africa.
Israel is like a funnel that funnels all this migration from Eastern Europe and Western Asia all the way to Africa. And we see here some 500 million birds every migration season.
The migration timing and routes are being affected by climate change, an issue that scientists say must be addressed for the survival of these birds.
They are the clock of Mother Earth. They know exactly when they should come. And what we see in the recent decades is that this clock of Mother Nature starts a little bit, to fall apart. Because of changes, because of climate change, because of other things, because we don't keep this route of good habitats, of good fueling stations for these birds.
Besides climate change, Israel must deal with the challenge of migrating birds sharing a narrow airspace with the very active Israeli Air Force. Devastating collisions between birds and fighter jets led ornithologist Yossi Leshem to conduct studies together with the Air Force to find solutions to the problem.
Before we started our joint study, the Israeli Air Force lost 11 aircraft, combat aircraft, with collision with birds, totally crashed. 3 pilots were killed. We succeeded to reduce the collision with birds by 76%.
Leshem flew with the birds in motorized gliders in order to provide the Israeli Air Force with exact maps of their migration patterns. These maps were used to coordinate training flight schedules and routes to avoid collisions. Leshem and the Air Force have continued to monitor the birds with radar stations, drones, GPS tracking devices attached to the flocks, and even volunteer spotters situated around Israel during migration season. And for a few months each season, Israelis have a chance to see the amazing spectacle of hundreds of millions of birds in the skies. Gradstein for VOA News at the Hula Lake in northern Israel.